Okay, so here we are in the middle of what seems to be a David Lynch movie. This is the Georgian splendour of Richmond upon Thames. And this is an interesting fight because it's held by the Liberal Democrat Susan Kramer and has been for some time. And the challenger from the Conservative Party, who was expected to win, is the extremely charismatic young man, Zac Goldsmith.
I think background's irrelevant. If you're in politics for the right reasons, it doesn't matter where you come from. But I think the logic of the argument is wrong anyway. I mean, I totally reject it. If you follow that argument logically, unless you're black, you can't represent black people. Unless you're Asian, you can't represent Asian people. Unless you're gay, you can't represent gay people.
Quite so.
I think it is so. I think it is.
Using all my journalistic techniques and skills, I found some local voters in a pub. This has been a dirty-ish campaign, hasn't it?
Nationally or locally?
No, locally. From Suze.
It's been a very underhand campaign.
You'll vote Liberal. Have you met her?
Yeah.
You like her, do you?
No, I've never seen her later.
That's a good response.
2 months before an election, any election, it's almost inevitable that if you're in an area with a Lib Dem candidate or an MP, and I'm sure other parties do it as well, they will pretend the hospital is going to close down because you then collect everyone's emails, you whip everyone up into a frenzy.
Do you know what he does for a hobby?
No.
He breeds wild horses.
Wild?
Yes.
Where?
Breeds wild horses.
Where?
What,
Spain?
himself?
Well, not
person?
in Richmond, obviously.
What,
I mean,
person?
Christ.
I think that their campaign was totally unethical. I'm not going to join up. You know,
Do you get on with her?
if she was here now and we were chatting without a camera, we'd get on perfectly well.
Do you see how the Sunday Times has elevated the political debate here in Richmond? Thank you, madam. Thank you. I don't want to sound politically incorrect, but your opponent's going to get the chick vote, isn't he?
Well, my opponent is very attractive, and there will be some ladies who will find that attractive.
Well, what about Zac Goldsmith, though?
No, I certainly wouldn't. I certainly
He's very good looking.
Well, I don't care. So am I, but I wouldn't vote for myself.
You're not in his league, mate.
There'll also be some who find it attractive to support a woman who you might say they might see with a more parallel life of being working mum than the other. So, you know, if you like, some go one way, some go another.
Ah, so yes. So you're going to beat Zac with the stick of his upbringing?
No. It'll be the work that we've done, and then I think the issues we're fighting on, I mean, really big things like, you know, defending Kingston Hospital and the A&E and the maternity.
No one's going to
Those are
close
absolutely.
Kingston Hospital.
Oh, I wish that were true.
But even your Conservative opponent thinks that Labour is not going to close the hospital.
But where my Conservative opponent gets his opinion from, you know, I can't explain to you is the truth.
Susan Kramer spent more in this campaign than Zac Goldsmith has of her own money. She used to be the executive director of Citibank in the US. She's hardly.
She's rolling in it.
She's rolling in
I
it.
don't know nothing about her actually. No.
Ah, you see,
It's
this
a power
message
game,
hasn't got
isn't it?
through.
Yeah.
This message hasn't got through. Do you like him?
So I certainly don't dislike him. We don't know each other that well. It's just, you know, it's an occasional hustings and it's an artificial setup.
He thinks it's been a bit dirty.
It's all right.
Maybe his point of view.
Can I just make an important political observation here for the Sunday Times? Here we are in the most affluent constituency in Great Britain, and it's full of lefties. It's just bizarre. The mood seems to be, at the moment, in favour of the Liberal Democrat candidate, Susan Kramer, largely as a consequence not of anything she's done particularly, not that she's a bad MP, but because of that incredible upsurge in support for Nick Clegg on the first ever Prime Ministerial debate. My guess, however, is that things might change, that Clegg bounce may not last that long, and that we could be in for a bit of a surprise here in Richmond, which in a way wouldn't be a surprise because Richmond historically was a Conservative seat.